Now, Barrister Mbeseha, there is another side to all of this. Amazonians have watched with growing concern the political gymnastics, especially that of another Southern Cameroonian-born Barrister Akerimuna, whom only days ago he was petitioning at the Constitutional Court of French Cameroon to bar Paul Biya from contesting, and now he has turned around calling for a coalition with Cabra Libi, Isaac Roma, Joshua Osei, men deeply embedded in the colonial political system. Many Amazonians now view Barrister Akerimuna not just as confused, but also as a Confucianist, deliberately muddying the waters. Now, there are so many questions looking at this particular report, one of which is how do you interpret this sudden shift from Akerimuna, from petitioning Paul Biya and now coming to a coalition? How do you interpret the sudden shift, and what does it reveal about the desperation and contradictions within the colonial electoral theater?
Well, it's difficult to deal with candidates like Akerimuna because, this is my opinion, Akerimuna is just a political adventurer. Yeah, he's a candidate. The party that put him up there, he was never even a member of that party. He never belonged to the party. The party just put him up to become a candidate. Why? Because they wanted to make him relevant. They wanted to use his entity to be an Anglophone there, and to be a lawyer who is fighting corruption. Akerimuna knows that he will not win. There's no way he will win. That's not his first adventure. He had been there before. He was in 2018, put up as a candidate. At the last minute, he withdrew and supported Kamto. Kamto did not win, and we all know what Kamto not to win. And so is what Akerimuna is saying relevant today? Now. Because unfortunately, he has read the red line. He knows what Cameroon is. Where he took his case there as an individual a few days ago, he knew that he was not going to win. He's not a new person to the so-called Constitutional Council. He's not a stranger there. That thing has been there forever. And he's not a new guy to the election process in Cameroon. And so that's why I call them just charade, the adventurers, together with Osei. Osei is telling you, go and participate, there will be a PV at the polling station. Who told him that? Isn't that the very PV that went to 2018? And the Elecam the Constitutional Council said, look, the all PV we want here, that we consider is one from Elecam. So Mr. Osei's PVs are carried in his suitcase to the Constitutional Council. And they are all in contradiction to what Elecam has given. Based on precedent, how are they going to take him? How are they going to accept? See, the fine print of elections in Cameroon that people don't want to say, which is what they're benefiting from, it's just money. It's money. Elections in Cameroon, especially presidential elections in Cameroon are American venture. Not stolen money, no. The government pulls money from the treasury to give you if you're a candidate. Millions. You are not required to give an account of how the money was spent. You take it and go, that's it. It has been like that forever. And so, they all know that they will not win. They want to be relevant in the society called Cameroon. That's not our problem. Our problem is not there. Our problem is how they try to induct our own children there. Our problem is how they bring our own parents, even by adoption, call them chiefs, who will move to Yaoundé and say they support Paul Biya for the sake of making money out of it, because they don't go to Yaoundé for nothing. Our problem is how they will get our priests and bishops and pastors to go to Yaoundé and say we want to talk about elections. They will never see Paul Biya, but they will come back home with their pockets full of money. Our problem is how our own brothers and sisters, who have a certain level of reading and age, will go and manipulate the population, for example. It's just an illustration. In Kupe Maneguba, where there's absolutely nothing there. And they say, look, the people of the youth of Maneguba have contributed 20, 40 million to support Paul Biya. Which youth, they have never even seen Paul Biya in their lifetime, and they will never see him. Which chiefs, we call them, be them from Boya or from Bamenda, call them regional house of chiefs, will take a wooden structure they have carved themselves, or made it by themselves, and take it to a 2D. They say this Paul Biya lives in a 2D. He's supposed to live there. Then when they go there to support a statue, they have carved the statue that they're going to support to become the president. This is where the problem is. The problem is how you see somebody standing in Boya. We were talking in the last segment about where the referral hospital. You see somebody standing in Boya and wearing something on his body and carrying ribbons. He's a mayor. Accompanying a fraudulent minister and claiming that they are launching the the construction of a referral hospital. That's one of us. He's not a stranger to the town. This is where the problem is. And the question we always ask is, when shall Ambazonians learn to say no to fraud? When shall they be able to stand out and say, no, we can no longer accept this? Nobody is new to the Cameroon so-called managed elections or selections or whatever they call it. Is the difference between what OC is doing now and what Nifron did in 1992 and won the election. Where is the Nifron this election victory of 1992? That was supposed to be sponsored called SDF, which SDF OC is the headman over it now. So these are all gangsters trying to get money directly, cash, that is being used to sponsor elections, and getting positions in the long run that will put them in places. Most particularly, for example, OC. OC is here, he does business. He hires planes to the presidency to Geneva or wherever and kept on the ground for months. And they pay him. That is what is important. That these people to use their own personal fortunes to deceive the people, to deceive us, to deceive the next generation. Probably might be alive or dead. But a presidential candidate is not based on the fact that you're sitting in your kitchen and eating bread and drinking wine. It's based on the fact that they see you standing outside there, giving election promises. If you vote me, I will do this. If you vote me, I will do it. Based on speculation and imagination that the man must be alive or dead. No. That's the other country in the world who have seen where candidates never show up anywhere. But at the end of the day, they win. Where they make ministers to run the government for them, which ministers never meet with them for 7 years of their mandate. No. Enough is enough. Ambazania has taken too much of this nonsense. Good enough. We have one blessing that today we have the social media, and there's no place where the President Paul Biya can hide. There's no place where OC will hide. There's no place where Kere or whoever, any other candidate would hide. They are lying to themselves. There will be no elections in Cameroon. There will be a selection which has already been done. Paul Biya has already been selected to be president. It is not for us to choose to change their choice. But if we can give advice to Cameroonians, not Ambazonians, to Cameroonians, how long will you take this? How? The government that you deserve. Out, fight for what you want to fight, remain doomed forever. We are not going to go down the drains with Ambazonians. Ambazonians have said enough is enough. We are gone. No matter what it costs, we are gone. We will rebuild and be better than what we have been in the past 60, 70 years. Over to you.
Thank you, Barrister Mbeseha, for your contributions in the entire news of today. But that will be it from the home front. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you much.
Up next will be news across Africa. Do stay tuned.